Hello and welcome to the SRCC Podcast. My name is Shauna Kelly and I am one of the project workers here in the centre. Sligo Rape Crisis Centre offers support to anyone who has been affected by sexual violence. We are here to listen. We offer information, advice and a range of supports across Sligo, Leitrim and Cavan. You can contact us on 1800 750 780 or info@srcc.ie. I'm here today with Parvez Butt, who is Chairperson of the SRCC Board and has been Chairperson for several years. Hi Parvez.
Hi there, how are you?
So Parvez, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in SRCC?
Well, my involvement with the SRCC basically was through my passion for some of the voluntary sector. I retired very early on in 1990 and I felt that, I couldn't not get involved in unpaid work for a change, because most people who've had some success don't put back into society. And of course, I had reasons for being involved in this sector because of the abuse and because of rape and all these issues which we had to deal with when I was chair of governors of a very large primary school and one of the largest secondary schools in England, in West London, where these issues arose fairly often. And as chair of governors with the headmaster or the head teacher, one had to deal with them all the time. So I felt my experience would be well served.
Okay. How has the centre developed over your time here?
Well, the centre, when I first joined, it was pretty good. It was doing very good work, what it is meant to be doing. But the premises we were in were not adequate, in my view, for what we were doing. But they were serving the purpose, but they were not fit for purpose as such. And we were very fortunate in that the board was progressive thinking enough. And then when these premises currently we are in came about, we took the deep dive into it and said, we'll take a chance. A leap of faith, I suppose. A leap of faith basically because we had the confidence in the workforce and we had the confidence in how we would develop and how it would fulfill our vision. And that in itself was a task and a half in itself. But we managed to do that. And once this premises were taken on board, it took us a while to settle. Our funding was not as good as it is now, but it was always on the increase, dependent on the kind of results we were producing. And my view is that we are doing very well in terms of value for money, what we are doing. Our client base, of course, is quite pleased and being well served. They wouldn't have had the kind of places to go to. And also in the current premises, if one was to come and view on our open days or on the days to see what we're doing, will see that the environment is fit for purpose. Because at the end of the day, we've got to remember the clients who have gone through the traumas of what we look after in their needs don't want to be in a grotty place. They want to be in an environment where they feel secure, they feel comfortable, they feel that there is something there they can relax in. So they don't have to be, worried about where they are and they're not uncomfortable. You know what they say, if you're comfortable in a position where you're sitting or where you're talking to someone, chances are that your mindset will be pretty positive and then you will absorb more. So in that sense, I think we not necessarily pat ourselves on the back, but I think we are in the right direction, we're in the right space, and we are moving in the right directions as we go along.
And what do you like about your role with SRCC?
The role I have at the moment I like about it is the fact that, I'm surrounded with a very good team. This is a team player setup where no one person can take credit. Frankly, most people say to me, "Oh, you're a damn good chair. You're a very good chair. You've done very well." But I'm only good because my team makes me look good. And that's what a lot of organizations and the boards don't realize. If your team is happy, your work is going to be good. You're going to extract loyalty from them. And then they will put their best foot forward all the time. And I find that is what really helps me. And also at a personal level, it gives me a great deal of satisfaction, almost as much as during my working life when I used to earn very good money, which I don't now, But that satisfaction cannot be replicated. It cannot be replicated by paid employment. It cannot be replicated by any other source other than even without a client saying thank you, just the notion that they've done okay, or they've passed through our gates and our doors and opened out into a nicer space. That's what helps us most, and that's what I like best about the job here. Well, it's not a job, but I mean, of the position, it's pretty good.
Hello, you are listening to the SRCC Podcast, which is coming to you today from our head office on Kempton Parade in Sligo Town, just beside the Garavogue River. In this episode of the SRCC Podcast, we are talking with Parvez Butt, who is chairman of the SRCC Board. And what are some challenges you face within your role?
The challenges I face mostly as chair would be very much the same as what our staff and our councillors and volunteers would feel, and that is often funding. Although having said that, we're quite blessed in that our funding is pretty good, and if we need some additional funds for development and the project is good, and whatever we're trying to offer is very good and our funders will see it, our projections and our research of what we put together to look for the funding is seen as being worthwhile, and then we manage to get that now. So that helps us a lot. But in spite of that, having said that, there is never enough funding. We always need to be able to do more. For example, we've got to set up now in Carrick, which at one time we were looking for rooms here, there, and everywhere. We have river rooms. We are trying to do the same with good support from our funders in Cavan, because we cover Sligo, Leitrim and Cavan, and we need to be able to offer the same level of service to our client base all around, because there's no boundary for victims who need our help. So we find that the challenge basically is to get funding to be able to do more. We are doing quite a lot. I think we're probably giving exceptional value for money to the state for what we do, but we could do more. And if we had, and we're not asking exorbitant amounts of money, we're asking for reasonable amounts of money from time to time, and often we get some of it. And as I said, our funders are quite helpful in that.
And what do you hope to see in the future with SRCC?
I hope to see that SRCC will be seen to be an organization that did exceptionally well for its clients, and that it's an organization that was very moral and it was very faithful to what it was meant to do. Because a lot of organizations, they start with the best will in the world to do a particular task, and they tend to deviate and change direction. I hope we won't change direction, because the problems we deal with are universal and they're not going to go away. And in fact, the pandemic has shown us, and statistical results show from around Europe, that the pandemic has been so disastrous, and the lockdowns and all that, and not just in Ireland, but including UK and Europe, that the mental health issues, which most of our client base would fall into that group, because a lot of people don't realize that all this comes under a sort of mental health. But rape, domestic violence, child abuse, all this is going to be plaguing us for at least another 3 decades. Although the curve had started receding, but the pandemic hasn't helped it. It has gotten a little bit worse. So we are going to face a lot of these issues at a heightened level for at least 2, if not 3 decades. And that's not me saying that. That's me just agreeing with some of the world-famous experts who are actually now predicting that.
Okay. We finish our chats with everyone on the same question, and that is, what do you like to do for self-care?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask what I would like to do for my self-care. My wife would probably be able to tell you reams of stuff that I should do and I don't do. But basically, I remain focused. I remain focused. I don't let things affect me at a personal level. I don't let things take me to a level where I suddenly start suffering. But I also make sure that I debrief myself. I will speak to a colleague or I speak to our CEO, different things, and I'll run past him from time to time. And that is a method of debriefing and de-stressing, which helps, and to ensure that, I remain in peak form to be able to perform what I'm supposed to do, at which I'm good. I do get involved with my garden and I do things which relax me. I'm writing a book on my life and my involvement in the voluntary sector, not just in Ireland, but also in the UK, and also with some of my traveling exploits around the world. So that keeps me fairly occupied and divorces me from the day-to-day thinking of the horrendous things that the centre deals with people who've suffered, So that is one way of debriefing oneself, I think. And for me, it works.
That's great. Thank you so much for chatting with us today, Parvez. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Shauna. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the SRCC podcast. If you would like more information, some support, or if you would like to make an appointment, please get in touch with us on 1-800-750-780 or info@srcc.ie. We're here to listen.